So, hello everyone here. Today I'm talking about the Super Mario Bros. Movie being hated by the critics, right? And maybe I'm biased, right? Because I like Nintendo games. I have my BOWSETTE shirt to me here, right? I got a freaking BOWSETTE mouse pad, right? So maybe I'm biased, but I do think this movie is getting a really bad rep, right? By the critics. And there's two reasons why, right? One reason why, I think it's what you all expect, right? You know, they are calling it offensive. They hate Chris Pratt and so on, right? So that's what you expect, right? But the other thing is because they don't play video games, and that's kind of what I'm talking about here. Because I've worked them, right, with gaming for a while, but I've also been a video game reviewer, right? I'm talking about the chat here. I'm talking about before, when I was younger, right? When I was a teenager and like in college, I used to write game reviews for different magazines, right? And it's also been this issue that sometimes they don't have the right person to play the new game, right? I remember when I was a kid that I was reading the Disgaea Out of Darkness review in a magazine, and this woman hated it. She was like, "Oh, it's the worst game ever. It's so boring. It's like the character can do one attack and they have to wait, and then you can't just like attack all the time, and then the opponent can move and I can't move and the opponent can't move and so on." So basically, the reviewer had never played a turn-based game before, right? Probably not the best person to review a turn-based strategy games. And Disgaea is a very like grindy, heavy turn-based, you know, grindy role-playing game. And it was very, very weird. And that magazine had to then next month, of course, this is back in like the, you know, early to the apologize for the reviewer basically being like hating turn-based games and giving, because she gave the game like a 5 out of 10 or something. And Disgaea was a very popular game when it was out. And she gave it like a 5 out of 10. Oh, turn-based, shitty gameplay. I want it to be real-time or something. You were like, what? But honestly, going over these reviews here, they are actually kind of like this. Like, most of the critical, so the game is like more than half hated the movie, right? And they really kind of hated it too. It's like a 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10 and so on. But many of them are complaining on the movie being a video game and the logic of it. Like, I read some of these articles here, right, before I did this video, and some of them are just crazy. There is like, why can't the block fly for? If you punch this block, you get coin out of it? Why isn't the movie explaining that for? You know what I mean? And you're just like, I guess? They never played a game in her life. She's like, I never played a Mario game. I don't know what the cat. She's like, I know what Mario is, right? And she of course also finds it offensive for some reason. Doesn't really explain what she means offensive. Was like Chris Pratt or whatever, or Peter to be saved. But I think this person here is the perfect example I'm talking about, right? Like I mentioned earlier, you can't have a person that likes that only plays real-time action games, like fighting games or whatever, right? Having like a super hardcore fighting gamer, suddenly, oh, you're gonna review like Dragon Quest, it's turn-based, you know, like this is gonna be a weird thing, right? I feel the same thing here. You're like, okay, so you don't play video games, don't never play video games in life, gonna read a Mario game, you complain about what is this Rainbow Road thing or something. You know, this is really weird. It's really weird. It's the reason I feel seriously why I want to make this video, right? Because these people are complaining that, oh, the movie is terrible because they're not explaining how warp pipe works, or why can Mario throw a fireball if he touches the fire plant, you know? And I'm just like, I have never questioned this in my life in the game, right? And it's weird to me, imagine these people watching the movie, never had played the game, right? And they come into this movie being like, "Oh, he grew big from a mushroom." I mean, I guess for them it's crazy, because they're like, "Why can't Mario turn big from a mushroom or tiny or die or whatever?" I get it. In one way, I get it. It's crazy for them. But from any kind of gaming standpoint, right? That's how so many games are. You play a game and you get a power up. You eat this fruit. You know, you can transform or teleport or whatever. That's how game works, right? The game has never explained to me. I have played all the Mario games, right? I played all the Mario games, Zelda, and so on. The game has never explained to me in the Mario game how the fire plant works. No, you touch it, you get magical fire, right? And I find it so appalling, honestly, to some extent. These reviews are so, you know, I think it's so fake, right? Because, like, do they do the same thing if they watch, like, a Marvel movie? Or they're like, oh, why can't Wolverine heal for? Why haven't anyone explained how his DNA works? How can he actually, like, you know, build up this thing? Or how can he infinitely energy this thing or whatever? Yeah, or how can Deadpool actually heal? Deadpool heals faster based on damage. It's like a reverse thing. So it's like low damage, slow heal. How does that make any sense from an energy standpoint? Is he like a living nuclear power plant? You know what I mean? Like, are they do? No, they aren't, right? But people really hate this movie. They want to hate this movie, right? Probably because of some political stuff, but whatever. And they're sitting here spending all the time being like, well, how does the warp pipe actually work, you know? Oh, the flute, how do you teleport with that, you know? It is such a weird thing, right? And it feels either people are crazy, and they never played a game before in their life, or it's just complete phone. But I do think it's, again, come back to mention in the beginning of the video, reminds me of, no, you shouldn't have this person that hates turn-based games to review the new turn-based games. Maybe you shouldn't have someone reviewing a movie if you hate video games. And you can see why some people can hate Chris Pratt and so on, right? Like, why does it matter, you know? Let me read this text to you, okay? This is one reason why they hate the movie, right? Because these people are weird. Am I the only one? I'm gonna be that guy, but come on, Jesus Christ. Okay, the ad quickly results in the first customer, a black couple, with an angry dog of no particular racial background. What would you mean? Is that dog racial? I don't understand, yeah. As the couple is black, okay, but the text reads like that dog doesn't have a particular racial background. A dog is typical race, you know, you can have like a German Shepherd or something. That's a dog race, I guess. It's really weird. So what message is the Mario movies telling you guys? I don't know, save the princess, be a hero. It is, I mean, I can't be the only one being like, yes, the Mario movies are pretty simplistic. You fight the evil Bowser, the dragon guy, the lizard, and you save the princess, and some other stuff. You know, it's like, yeah, that's the message. I don't know. It's not a deep philosophy, but I think it's interesting how they're like looking at a children movie again, a Nintendo game, right? And they're like they're playing Zelda. Like, what is the message here? What? That women can't do it? That Link has to save the princess and she's just like a damsel? Oh, that's terrible. We can't play these games anymore. You know what I mean? Fire Emblem, you can pick gender, right? Yeah, exactly. Like, you should be able to play Zelda instead of Link. Honestly, though, I think it'd be, to be fair, I think it'd be interesting if you could play, am I the only one? If you could play like some Breath of the Wild, right? And you could pick either Zelda or Link in the beginning, and then Link is the one being, you know, away or whatever, and it just reverses the ender. Well, why not? I love this complaint. This might be my favorite, guys. This person here prefers the old movie. Because they had a unique design. Yeah, the old movie was unique, guys. This movie, or they had the new movie, it is just copying the games. Yeah, it is really this thing here, right? The design are completely faithful to the games. The rest is a bad thing, yeah. This person is literally preferring the old movie, because the old movie was unique, it's like cult classic or whatever. You know, the old movie is extremely terrible, and it's a cult classic because it's so incredibly terrible that it became famous, right? Being one of the worst movies ever made. Certainly it's unique in that sense, right? And this person here is trying to argue that the new movie is bad because the new movie is just like copying the games and is true to the source material. So anyway, guys, that's the video. What do you guys think? Are the critics crazy? Are you gonna see the movie? I am definitely gonna see the movie. I might time tomorrow, or was it explosive Mega Man tomorrow, so I have time tomorrow, but definitely gonna watch the movie, right? And I think that one thing I will say, to be fair, absolutely is the movie, of course, better if you're a fan. Absolutely, right? The movie, of course, you're gonna enjoy the movie more if you play all Nintendo games, obviously, right? And Easter eggs and the Donkey Kong and so on, of course. But on the same time, it feels most of these critics, right? Either are agenda-driven or they just Looney Tunes, I feel. Where it's just like, no, why don't they explain how the flute works? I'm like, I don't know. That's never been a thing. It's a flute that summons a magical wind tornado thing and it just works. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's how video games are. No, this thing does this thing. Just accept it, right? And I feel it's so ridiculous, especially because it's a children's movie. And it's just like, oh, the flute needs to have a backstory. No, it doesn't, right? It's really weird. I find it really weird. I think you have to always think about what games are you playing, or what anime, or what movie, or whatever. But what comic book are you reading? You know what I mean? If simple, that's very simple. If you read Narnia, right? The concept of Narnia is isekai. You know what I mean? They open a door, right, in their closet, enter this other universe, right? And now you have like a talking animal. Do you question that? No, because you entered through a portal So now you're in the talking animal land, right? You're not wondering, bad writing, animals can't talk. That's kind of how they act, right? They're basically acting like, because obviously Mario and Luigi, right? They go from Earth, right? You know, our world, to the Master Kingdom, right? On the universe. That's how it is. They're isekai, right? Still speaking, right? And we're not questioning it. Is this on a universe? You can eat a plant or a mushroom and become 10 times bigger. That's a thing in the mushroom universe, right? I'm not questioning how the mushroom power-up works, because I'm accepting that the main character is not a universe, right? But these reviewers, seriously, half of them are like, this never explained how the mushroom power is. Bad writing. I'm just like, what? Really? Seriously? It feels very, very silly to me and incredibly overplayed. Better guys, please subscribe, press the like button, and have a great day.